phrase to Teresa, though, that I want you to have as a mantra. Just say no to keeping time. You never keep time. And if they see from you from the moment you're up there what the character of the piece is, they'll get to that place with you more quickly. If you start by just beating time, they think, oh, this piece is about beating time. Isn't that an interesting phrase? Kind of descriptive, isn't it? Beating time instead of moving with it. Isn't that interesting?
So folks, I'm going to try something a little bit different here. Can you turn to page 8, please? Bottom system. And this time I'm going to do some of the work, and you get to sit back and relax and criticize me. So I'm going to sing it for you, and when I sing the wrong rhythm, I want you to raise your hands.
Good.
Raise them high. So I'm going to start from the bottom of page 8, soprano 1 line. So if I'm 1, 2, 3, can you imagine a pit? Oh, not everyone's hand raised right away. Can you sing it back to me the way it's supposed to be, starting right there? Can 1, 2, 3.
Can you imagine the peace of the universe more fit for princes and kings?
So that was one of those, we'll just try it and see how it goes. And we have the rhythm just fine, but can we do a little bit more phrasing? Can you imagine a piece of the universe more fit for princes and kings?
Good. If you were going to verbally describe, Mike, what you just did to shape the phrase, could you just tell me what you did? Do you know what you did?
Crescendo, decrescendo?
Where?
Every measure.
Not quite.
Well, the downbeats of...
What would you guys say? What do you do? Can you describe it?
4 measure.
Where were the
the
syllables that received emphasis? Go.
The third
Second beat, or the second syllable of imagine.
Yes, good. Where else?
Universe.
Which part?
beat verse.
You.
Better do it again. We weren't sure.
Okay. Can you imagine a piece of the universe more fit for princes and kings?
It's like
Can you describe what he did?
first beat of every other bar.
Yeah, but he emphasized the second syllable of imagine the first time.
Let's try that. Let's try Dan's interpretation of Mike's performance. Go, choir.
Can you imagine a piece of the universe more fit for princes and kings?
What'd you think? Did that match what's in your head?
It was close, not quite there, and we also had rhythm discrepancies again, but that's okay.
Because when you demonstrated it, you had a rhythm discrepancy.
I did,
We all
and
catch that, right? So, Mike, if it was close to what was in your head, but not exactly what was in your head, then the instruction, the next instruction, gets more specific. So that was my concept of that phrase. If you will also, what? What do we need to do to make it match what's inside your head?
I think the beginning of the phrases have to start a little bit softer. So, can you imagine a piece of the universe more fit for princes and kings? Can we try that?
So the beginnings, I would translate what he just did as the beginning of the first bar, third bar, and fifth bar came back in dynamics, so it was a little softer. Does that description match what's inside your head?
Yes, it does.
Okay, let's try it. See if you like it.
Can you imagine a piece
I did like that.
Good, so you give specific feedback now, you say, yes, dynamically, that phrase shape was just what I intended, or something. So they know that, yeah, now I'm kind of doing it right, or I'm kind of doing it like it was intended. Now,
Oh,
I'm gonna help you have your gesture match your intent.
okay.
Because if you look on the thing, when you just did can you imagine, the prep for that looked like this. What's he gonna get?
Okay.
If you want can softer, what does your prep need to look like? He's gonna try that again. And first table of sopranos, make sure the rhythm's right in bar 2, okay? Here we go.
Can you imagine?
So one more time.
Good. So now if I'm the conductor, I'm thinking, okay, so that gesture may have gotten at the dynamic level I wanted, but somehow it closed them off vocally. So what can I do in my gesture now to accomplish a soft dynamic level, but also a confident open sound? I'll let you experiment with that. Do you see what I'm saying?
I do.
Because if I do this to a soprano, watch, everybody watch. And it's mostly sopranos, but here's what I do. Do you know? What can you do to keep them open and still not loud? Go. And you get to experiment too like Teresa did, because this is a perfect setting.
Yeah.
Go for it.
Let me just blow fresh pitches real quick, or play them. All right, cool.
Yeah, they're not bad, are they?
All right, we're
Been
doing
good
just
tonight,
fine.
everybody.
Absolutely. So let's try that one more time.
Good. Now I'm going to give you some feedback as a conducting teacher that what I see is your initial stance and prep is really intense like this, and then the preparation relaxed. Can the attention getting gesture reflect what the first sound is going to sound like?
Okay.
Can you imagine a piece of the universe more fit for princes and kings?
1, 2, 3.
Who made you 10 of your cities for Marion Bridge and the pleasure it brings?
Okay. Awesome.
What's the next logical thing to do?
Add parts.
I just have them all sing, see what happens.
Yeah.
On their own part.
All right, folks.
Mike, that was probably the best communication I've seen you do in your gesture to have what you'd like to come back from the ensemble to match what was in your head. There was so much specificity about your gesture that time, right? And I guess what I'm trying to get at with all students, and that was what we just did with Teresa too, is do you look like how you want the music to go? Or are we sending any mixed messages in our gesture? You know what I mean? So keep going down that path. It's a great path to be on.
Okay.
Okay, here we go, singing everybody.
Aha. All right.
And it's actually way past my time to jump in, so you can go and play parts if they need it.
Okay.
What parts are we singing?
Yeah. We can just say it like this: soprano 1, soprano 2. You folks okay with that? Just do the best octave you can. This one you might have to switch around. Just do your best. We'll do just fine. All right.
Can you imagine a piece of the universe more fit for princes and kings?
Folks, can I get more diction there? I feel like we're kind of muddying up the words a little bit, and that's kind of messing with the rhythm. I think a little diction is going to increase our rhythmic unification.
Now you have 80 different people in your choir who are going to take that instruction, more diction, and interpret it 80 different ways. Do you know what I mean? Because more diction for Elliot, I can tell you in this room, they're not even interpreting it the same way. So what do you mean by more diction? Can you be specific?
Yeah, beginning and ending consonants. I just want more clarification as to when the word starts and ends, because I'm hearing nothing but vowels. Does that make sense?
Yes? See what you get.
Okay.
Peace of the universe, more fit for princes and kings. Multitude of your cities, for very unbridged.
Okay, awesome. I could use a little bit more soprano too.
Good.
Did we get a little flubby in there, or are we?
A little bit, yes.
Let's assume the best
Yeah.
and think that just your instruction about balance will fix
Okay,
it. Let's see.
that's what I figured. So let's go.
What about diction? Could you give him some feedback on the course you're going? Did he like my diction or not?
I liked your diction. I felt like it started a little shaky in the beginning, and as we went along, we kind of settled into it. Try and use that same intensity and same unification that you do at the middle of the phrase at the very beginning as well.
Good.
So, let's try one more time.
Good.
Peace of the universe, more fit for princes and kings. Multitude of your cities, for very unbridged and unlettered
Going on. Okay, so folks, I'm going to have everybody go to the hums right there. And Elliot, how do you feel about singing the solo? Since you already know it. All right, let's go to that spot right there. Third measure, top of page 10. So let's try it one more time.
Out on the Myra, the people are kind. They treat you to home brew and help you unwind. And if you come broken, they'll see that you mend. I wish I was with them again.
So, folks, can we look up at me a little bit more during that? Because I felt like I was given some great dynamics, and I want to experiment and see if I really was, or if I need to adjust what I was doing. And I want to see if it's maybe because our heads were in our score a little bit. Can we maybe?
And why were their
Kind
heads
of
in your
familiar.
score?
Absolutely, no, I totally understand, but that's okay. I want you to focus on something other than the notes, because that'll help you learn the notes faster.
Good point.
So, can we stand, hold our scores like this, and watch as much as you can? I understand you're human and you're not robots, so you can't read like computers. So,
I still want the solo.
yes, I do.
Out on the Myra, the people are kind. They treat you to home brew and help you unwind. And if you come broken, they'll see that you mend. I wish I was with them again. Everybody.
we have to stop.
Yeah.
Let's talk about something that Mike does really well that we can incorporate into our rehearsal process as well. And that is this mixing it up between going back and letting the ensemble go on. Do you know what I mean? Like, it doesn't feel particularly fragmented, which is good. Right, completely fragmented is not good. And it doesn't feel like, oh, we're just running this over and over again, but it's not getting any better. Do you know what I mean? It's some kind of mix to allow us to have an aesthetic experience, but also to help shape our performance along the way. And Mike, still, as you did today, kind of forcing yourself, holding yourself accountable for specificity in your gesture and your speech, and that those match. That's your challenge, but we can learn from you as well. Okay, good. Last person, Nina.